Attempt number 2. This is basically how to make decisions when you have fear. I do this to help myself get uh, better at communication. I'm gonna mess up here. You're gonna see it. The plan is to years down the line be better at communication as far as work, uh, talking with friends, family. Just communication is good, and then also hopefully I help somebody in a similar situation to myself. The fear I conquered. You can read this, but is basically what Alex Hormozy talks about of going against the grain of the people who are close to him, and not doing the high school, college degree, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, kids, work 9 to 5, really stable life. I didn't really like that. I didn't really want to do that. So the hardest part for me was walking away from validation of people who cared about me, trusting my gut over their well intentioned advice. So that was the biggest one for me, at least. My philosophy on fear, it isn't, or it's all in your head. So Mike Tyson said something like this, uh, that fear seems incredibly real, but is actually fictitious and intangible because it lives in the future. When we're actually in the situation, we just act. Does it mean that we don't feel fear at all? No, it does not. Everybody feels fear, including him. There's a YouTube video on him. It's like a minute long, talking about he was super scared the whole time, and then when he got up to the ring, he got more and more confident, and then he feels like he's the god in the ring. Super cool if you want to actually look at that. I really like it. It gets me fired up. But I probably butchered a quote. But just thinking about that, am I good at presentations? Probably not. This is take number 2 on this one. And it's still probably not going to go very well. I'm actually a little scared when I make these, when I'm writing the notes, when I'm talking. What are people going to think? Blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. When I'm recording, I feel like I can do it, even though I mess up constantly. And what I found is that fear indicates somewhere where I can explore because it's where I grow the most. So obviously do it all with caution, especially with the internet. Um, but I don't know. I think being scared of something is probably good that you can, dip your toe in. Both decisions that changed everything was one, career choice. That's the airport job that I talk about, or one of them at least. I knew I always wanted to do it, and I just needed the courage to commit. I don't really like commitment, long term stuff, but that was my first long term decision that I actually made, and seems to be going okay so far. The second one was around the same time I made this decision. Was I chose to be homeless to save more money. So I think my perspective grew quite a bit in that I didn't really need that much. I could save a whole bunch of money, and I could really go against the grain and what's kind of put into us, as far as expectation of standard of living and how you're supposed to act. Because if you meet me in real life, I'm gonna seem like a unique fella. How I assess risk versus reward. This one's pretty confusing. Basically, my first question is, how does it benefit me for this decision? Am I getting money? Am I getting status? Am I getting friends? Is it just for money? What's the money going to be used for? Or is it status? Is this going to make me seem cooler? Or am I going to get status with work, that'll help me in a later situation? Am I doing this to help my friends? Or am I doing this to get more friends? And then the green light question is basically just going that a little bit further. How does it benefit me or strangers? Then I just go out the gut feeling. I know it's not terribly uh, communicated effectively here. That's why we're working on it, though. The line I won't cross. So money's a huge part of my life, both for myself and other people. I plan to take care of my family, give security, and then also the life goal you can see in episode 0. I just think it's a huge tool. Like, I could protest all I want, and I'll make a small impact or large impact, depending on the person you're talking about. But the biggest thing that I think that I could do to help people is make a bunch of money and then just throw it at whatever I want to do. So I won't sell my soul out for money, though. That's one line I won't cross because I want to make it ethically. So I don't want to do scams for either to myself or to other people, which is actually, I don't know. It sucks because the parking app, I want to make it free, but obviously you can't do that in a business. So I don't know. It's hard to do a business, at least for this point in my life, to make a business and then charge people for it, because I just want to help people out. And I know that before I would never spend any money on anything else, I guess, besides Spotify. So it's hard to have them spend money on a business for me, even though it would provide very good value, like the parking app. Sorry, I'm a little sick. My principle: if a decision is driven solely by personal gain, money, status, recognition, it deserves deep scrutiny. If it's driven by helping others and feels right in my gut, then I trust that instinct. It's not really a hard to find line or rules that I go by. Um, that's just what it is in general, and I know it's not very descriptive, but I mean, my decisions aren't super rigid. What holds most men back from their bold decisions? Um, no idea for certain, but if I were to guess, it would be to uphold an image and the fear of failure, which both boils down to what people think of them. This could result in jokes, lost friendships, social embarrassment. I've had all three of them. I don't really take anything to heart there. Everybody makes mistakes and everybody acts goofy. If you're doing something weird, if it's good for you and it's good for, your whole life goal, if you lost a friendship, big deal. They weren't meant to be in there. But social embarrassment, fear of failure, those are very real. My take here on this is I'd rather be myself and have a very small circle of friends who really know me instead of a bunch of friends who don't know the real me. I never try to put up the mask and stuff like Robert Greene talks about in his books, even though he says that we do it either way. But because then it's only or if I do that and I'm talking to people, they only like part of me, not everything about me. So I try to be my most authentic self whenever I talk to anybody. I swear a lot. I make a lot of jokes. I'm a little, not abrasive, but some people will say rough around the edges, and then once they get to know me, then they know the intention and stuff. So then that's me. Then I just, then I'm just me. So I like that. Also, if I act differently around people, they're going to act differently around me. If I'm tiptoeing on eggshells or on a tight wire, you're going to do the same as me. So, like I just said, Robert Greene talks about people wear different masks around other people. I'm tired of wearing masks. I just want to be known, not just liked. I don't know if he put that or if I put this last part. I'm not really big into the mask thing. I just want everybody to know who I am and then chill with them. The hidden cause of playing it safe. You have to wear the mask. If you're playing it too safe, you're wearing a mask. You're going to present a version of yourself that fits expectations. That'll probably work really good in corporate stuff. But then every time you go to work, you have to act differently. If you're working 8 hours a day to 5 hours a week, it's 40 hours of your week that you are somebody else. Doesn't seem very fun to me. Build shallow connections. If you're always wearing this mask, people aren't going to know the real you. And you're not going to know the real them. So they're shallow. Lose yourself. You're going to, not Eminem, but if you always wear this mask, eventually I think it's going to go in your subconscious and maybe to your conscious that you are this other person and not your true self. So that's what I think playing it safe goes into. So the price of avoiding bold decision isn't just missed opportunity. It's a life lived for an audience that doesn't really know you. Now, in some settings that could benefit people, I'm not really a big fan of it, so do whatever you want to do, I guess. My rule for acting, even when I'm afraid. So I look for safe environments where I am fearful to practice under pressure. If you haven't done things that got you uncomfortable, I'd recommend it. So the gym is a safe and learning environment where you can push your physical limits, feel uncomfortable, and make mistakes without serious consequences. I know gym intimidation is really big, right? Yeah, a couple big guys in there, and I don't know, it's be intimidating because you don't know if you're looking stupid while you're doing something or technique, but I think that's a good ground level where you can start. Same thing with school. It's built for experimentation and failure. Now, I don't know about, college in the last decade or two, if it's really that or if it's really just memorizing stuff. Because, now if you don't get an A, it's goofy, or even a B, but C before was an average grade level, and it was there to challenge you. So speak up in class, try new subjects, take intellectual risk. Everyone's there to learn. If these two places are fantastic. Work, there could be some consequences there. I mean, you get fired or written up. But it is full of people who want to help you grow. All your supervisors, bosses, they want to help you grow. Volunteer for scary projects. Share ideas in meetings. Ask for feedback constantly. Anytime I do a presentation or a class, I always ask for feedback about how I did. And practice courage in low-stake situations. Final thoughts. If you've made it this far, thank you. I'm trying my best here. I'm not very good with words. People around me would know that. But I'm doing my best here. So working on the communication skill. Fear doesn't mean stop. It means to pay attention. It's pointing you towards growth and the person that you could become. Will you mess it up? Absolutely. As you can tell from this presentation, I'm butchering it probably. So will people question you? Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a whole lot of uncomfortable stuff when you try something that you're not super confident with or you're not super skilled at. But that's how we learn. The path everyone recommends is safe by and large because it's been walked before. The path that scares you, that's where your story begins. That sounds pretty cheesy. That just sounds cheesy. But, if you want to be different, do stuff that scares you, I guess. So, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.